What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to do something pretty different for Batman. Go back to some of the earlier stuff I used to do on this game, but for this video, I want to talk about 5 things, the top 5 things that this game must show us in the reveal trailer. So these range from kind of specific things to more, again, like kind of like blanket statements, but I'm going to be explaining each one in this video. Again, I know this is a very different kind of video. I like to mix these in with the news, with the rumors, and I did that a whole lot more, months ago, but as the rumors and the leaks and stuff started picking up, it's pretty much only been covering that. But I do like to make these videos. I've talked about things like this in the past, so I definitely want to know if you guys do like this kind of stuff, and I'll bring it back and I'll start doing more of these videos as well. I don't know how the haters can possibly go after me for talking about leaks and rumors and stuff in this, or being unoriginal, or whatever haters say. This is pretty darn original. So we've talked about the reveal trailer before, and I am, I guess, assuming, okay, I guess for this video, I'm assuming that when they announce this game, so we're going to pretend August 22nd, right? They're going to announce this game. I'm going to just be expecting like a 2-3 minute trailer, okay? We can say like Rocksteady's one is like a teaser trailer, like a 1 minute thing, and then this one would be like a 3, you know what I mean? Like a little bit meatier thing. This is just assuming there's no gameplay. This is what I want from basically the cinematic CG trailer like they've done for all of the other games. So the first thing is scope of the world. I want to be able to see the scope of the open world that we're going to be getting. Now, I should say this, and I can say this with this first one too. I don't know if we'll end up getting all these things. These are just things that I want to see, okay? I'm not saying that these are the things we absolutely will see. But for the scope of the world, so this game needs to be big. I mean, there's no doubt about it. A bigger open world does not mean that it's better. I will say that right now. We're seeing games have longer stories. We even had that with like The Last of Us. We're seeing games literally expand and expand and expand, and the budgets of people making these games continue to go up. All of those things. It doesn't always translate to a better game. Even again, look at The Last of Us. It's like double the size of the first game. Does that make it double as good, right? So just because the Batman Arkham, or whatever this game is called, okay, Gotham Knights, just because this open world, say, is 2-3 times, we have heard those numbers before. We've heard that it's 2 or 3 times bigger than the map of Arkham Knight. Just because it's bigger does not make it automatically like, oh, it's going to be so amazing. But I do want to see that somehow. Now, again, how do they do something like this in the trailer? I'm not necessarily sure. Maybe show different shots of Gotham. I think they could do something like that, like have the camera like pan out the city. You see a bunch of stuff going on. Maybe you see crimes going on. Whatever they're going to do. You have like the setting. I mean, those are things too. I don't even have the setting as part of my like time of year, let's say. I don't have any of that written on my list, but I really do want to see how big and how immersive, and that's just not even as big, it's really how immersive this world is going to be. And again, can we get all that from the just a reveal trailer? Not necessarily. You look at the reveal trailers of past games, you can't really get all that much from them, but I don't know, I feel like this one's different. I feel like obviously there's a lot of expectations going into this one, and so again, like the bar has been raised of what they kind of need to show. The second thing is the Bat family. Now this one I think is guaranteed, right? As long as those things have always been true, which I don't see any reason why all of a sudden now the Bat family stuff is just thrown out the window. I think, obviously the Bat family is going to be part of it. You'll have the 4 playable characters. Let's see that in some way. Again, it's going to be a cinematic thing. Are we just going to see maybe 4 of them fighting a villain or fighting like a group of henchmen, you know what I mean? And maybe we see each of them using their own fighting techniques, or maybe we see the 4 of them traverse the city, right, in their own unique ways. Something like that. I think it's this one I think is the easiest one. I think this is one that if the game is centered around the Bat family, it's centered around the Court of Owls, those are things that you show pretty heavily, and those are probably the main, drive of the reveal trailer, okay? So I think that one is pretty easy, but again, I mean, obviously this is something that we absolutely need to show, but you need to also keep it on Batman too, because ultimately, I do think it will be called if it's called Gotham Knights, it would be Batman Gotham Knights. It wouldn't just be called Gotham, and at least in my opinion, I don't think they would drop the name Batman from it, okay? So he obviously, I mean, he is the center focus. I think he always will be in a Batman game, so you do want to make sure you're focusing on him. The third thing is villains, much in the same way as the Bat family. I said villain, so plural. I guess, again, if it's Court of Owls, and if that still, again, is the true thing, you could maybe just show them, just show the main villain. We've seen it in the past games. Sometimes they will pick, Arkham City was Hugo Strange. They've picked different villains, and sometimes they're not even, I mean, I guess even like Arkham Knight was Scarecrow. And again, as I've said, I really think as the game has gone on, Scarecrow he was not the main villain of the game. He was one of the villains of the game, but he was not the main villain. So they do pick for these reveal trailers. They pick who they want to focus on. Doesn't always have to be the center drive of the game. But in this case, again, we're trying to improve upon what they've done in the past, right? So, do you have just the core vowels? Do you throw in other villains again, like I was saying with like a cinematic reveal trailer? Or, now I guess you could say this: the reveal trailer, it doesn't just have to be cinematic. You know, we're so used to again the cinematic stuff we've gotten for these past games, but we see games getting revealed now. I guess the first one that jumped in my mind was Horizon. So let's use Horizon as an example. Horizon, obviously had Aloy narrating it in the background. We saw obviously cinematics, but a lot of it was also because then they would have like the bombing music in the background, and you would see her like traversing and going underwater and all that stuff, and that's in the game. Those are actually game elements, right? So they could do something like that. There could be kind of small instances of gameplay in the reveal trailer, and again, also because if this game is a little heavy on next gen, maybe they have the ability to do that more. So it is possible to show more than just a cinematic trailer. They could show some gameplay, rendered in game or rendered, in the engine or on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, whatever they want to do, and it can look very, very good. So I don't think they should be limited. So basically, that's what I'm saying. I think they should be trying to show, and this does come from the scope. So the scope of the world does connect to villains, because I think, again, like I was saying as one of the examples there, if you're showing the scope of the world, you could be showing villains. You could be showing, okay, this area is like overrun with this, and I don't know if they're gonna do like factions, like each, because they tried that in City, kind of, right? I mean, I wasn't really like thorough, but maybe a different group has a different area. I guess even Arkham Knight had, like this person does this thing here and stuff like that. But if they want to try that again, you could show that in a trailer. You could show that by showing the world. Obviously, if there's a narrative line that's going through the trailer, it'll probably focus on the core vowels. I guess a big question would be, would Joker be in the trailer in some way? Like, can you have a trailer without Joker? I think you absolutely can. It's been done before. But I wonder if they would do something like that. Because, again, I mean, they're going to be redesigns, and everything's going to look completely, I mean, that's not completely, but they're going to look pretty darn different from the past. This is, again, a reboot. This is their chance of doing new things. This is the first time we're going to see Batman and the Bat family in this redesign, we can call it. And also, again, the city in a redesign. And also a lot of the villains that I'm sure have appeared in past games that'll also appear here, and they will look slightly different too, right? There'll be tweaks on them. So it'll be interesting to see that one as well. The fourth one, this is kind of obvious. I'm trying to mix obvious with non-obvious things. Is I need the release, and I'll explain what I mean by like the release date. And I need the title. Now, okay, the title is obvious, right? When you announce the game, you give us the title, but it is obviously important. And I think, the reason I say that is just because I think a lot of us are really excited to see the title. I know, even in the past videos we talked about Gotham Knights, and we've said, the title, because I saw it a lot in the comments, the title doesn't really, if the game is great, the game is great. The title doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So, Gotham Knights isn't the first name I would have thought of. It's been used before. It's, a kind of, again, like Gotham City Imposters, which I saw people figure out that that's what I was trying to talk about. Like, it's kind of been done before. It's not the most original thing in the world, but at the same time, it is what it is. And then the release. Now, when I say release, I mean release window. I don't actually mean a release date. And to be completely honest with you, as every day goes by, going into August 22nd, I do not expect it to end saying November 15th, 2020. I don't expect that. I think, I honestly, as time goes on, I'm terribly sorry to break this to you. My own personal opinion is I do think the game has been pushed a little bit more. So I think it's probably like an early 2021 thing. And again, I mean, games can come out in January. That does happen. One or two big games normally does that every single year, which is cool. I don't know if Batman fits into that. I think like February, obviously, is a little bit more historically like good for video games, so maybe you try it there. But I guess, release, I guess I can, wiggle my way out of this. If the game does come out in 2020, I do think we would get a release date. I don't know how they don't, like an actual date. I don't know how, if it comes out in November and they announce it end of August, I don't know how they wouldn't tell you and just tell you November, when you'd have to do pre-orders, you'd have to start the market, you know what I mean? And again, that gives you less than 3 months to push this game. You have to have pre-orders, you have to have people starting to do that, you have to start pushing your gameplay, all these different features, you have to have journalists start playing buying it, all that kind of stuff, that has to happen within like 2.5 months. So that would be extremely difficult. That's part of the reason why I just think that it's not 2020 anymore. I think it's possible. I think it's definitely still possible, but I think as time goes on, it's more looking like 2021. And in which case, I would expect a month, much like kind of Hitman did. Hitman did, when Hitman 3 was announced at PlayStation's PS5 event, they said January 2021. They're actually one of the only games that gave a month like that. Spider-Man said holiday. There's some other games. I think Kenna, Bridge of Spirits said holiday. So there were games that did that, but Hitman actually said the month. I think we're deserved that. We're like, have earned something like that to be given. I just don't know. I think that actually would be the least likely thing that they show, just because they probably hate us. But I think 2021, I could imagine it saying like February or March 2021. Or, if it gets super late in it, they could just say spring. Spring normally means like March to May. Somewhere in that range is normally springtime. So they could do that as well. And the fifth thing, again, this is not something that you can actually put like a mark on. You can't actually grab it, but it's a wow factor. And it's also, this is what I want. I want a wow factor / showing improvement. Now, again, what do I mean by that? Okay, look, again, you can't take everything by the cinematic trailer. Okay, the game, when any game ever comes out, it is not solely, linked to that cinematic trailer. Okay, I don't know who is like comparing and being like, man, that trailer got us so pumped, and then, the game obviously sucked or whatever. No, as time goes on, you'll see gameplay, you'll see other trailers for it, you'll get a good grasp of what the game is, okay? So you can't base your entire thought process of the game when it releases on the first reveal trailer, okay? On the reveal trailer. You look at like The Last of Us, you look at any high-profile game that ever was looked at really, really well, and then maybe the game came out and it wasn't that good. Nobody's really thinking about that reveal trailer. So, but I will say this. It's been forever. Now, have they been working on this game forever? No, they have not been working on it for 7 years. Obviously, they had like 3 canceled projects, but they've been working on this game for quite a while, okay? This game is different. Say what you want about it, and say what you want about people talking about it and me talking about it. The game is different, and you've got to show us that it's going to be special, okay? Because we talk about, and we've always kind of made jokes like, just wait until it gets announced and comes out, and what if it's disappointing? What if the game is actually mediocre, or it's bad, or it's just good, it doesn't live up to people's expectations? We're joking about that now, but in all reality, that's a big deal, and that could very, very much come back to bite them at the end. I think that's something that's going to be kind of looming over their head. Honestly, from the day they announce it to when the game comes out, it'll be looming, where it's like, what if? You know what I mean? And that's a big deal. So, what can you do to fight that? Well, if I'm Warner Bros. Montreal, I need to give it my all. Obviously, they're working hard. Obviously, I know they're not going to be, cutting any, or at least I hope not, right? You hope they're not doing that. But honestly, they need to give it all in this reveal trailer. It needs to literally show us that there has been improvement from past games, that they're trying different things, that the game is bold, that the game is new, all these different words, all these different keywords you want to say. That needs to somehow, and again, I don't have the answers to that. I'm just saying this is what I want. This needs to be in this. It needs to be in that trailer, because you got to start off strong. If it's weak, if this trailer is weak and it doesn't really give us much, doesn't really answer questions, leaves us in the dark with lots of things, I don't know if that's good, especially for a game like this. Secrecy is okay in video games, but not for a game like this. I'll tell you right now, this is a game that has things to prove. There are examples of games that don't really have to show you much and can be let off the hook for it, because you kind of trust them. They have a good history. You know that you can expect like a good product. And then you know what? If the game comes out and it's bad, then you lose that trust. Then you go back to, okay, it's a prove it thing. But the gaming industry is filled with that. It's proving it. You have to be able to prove it. And again, some developers, some games have the benefit of the doubt already given to them. Nobody really is questioning them, and then some of them don't. I think Warner Bros. Montreal is one that doesn't. We don't necessarily trust them. At least we don't trust them all the way. They need to go big. They need to go bold on this reveal trailer, and then we can start to feel like, okay, well, we're a little bit more confident in their product. You know what I mean? So, guys, those are my 5 things. I know this was a longer video. I'm sorry. I really like doing this, so I really, really did. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What are some things that you want revealed or shown in this reveal trailer? And let me know if if you guys like this kind of video. Again, I've seen people call me out. I've seen people do this and that. I started these kind of videos. I guess not in terms of like the OG Arkham people, but I was making videos of things that I want, things I don't want, stuff like this kind of video. I was making this back in early August. Okay, so I've been doing this for a very long time. I want to bring that kind of stuff back. I want to do more of that. So if you guys do like that kind of content, you guys like this kind of video, I can definitely do more of it, bring back some older topics and kind of redo them now. Would love to do that. Okay, so let me know your ideas in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on, and I will see you guys on the next Batman video.